Hey guys, Luke Street here. I am doing my video for the Security Plus Summer Session class project. I am actually out traveling this week for work and a little bit of vacation, so I thought a good topic to go over for this class project would be public Wi-Fi's. I've been bouncing around at airports all week. I do it quite a bit for work and for travel. And one thing a lot of people don't think about is the use of public Wi-Fi's while they're out traveling. The biggest thing that people will do is they'll hop on a Wi-Fi and see that unsecured or unlocked Wi-Fi and say, awesome, free Wi-Fi. I can surf the web and do my Facebook and do Instagram and all the things the cool kids are doing nowadays. And the hazard with that is, well, there's a bunch of hazards. First of all, there are a lot of ways that people can really hurt and do some harm to you, to your information, to people you know through the use of public Wi-Fi's. And I want to go over a few, and I apologize, I'm looking down at my notes every once in a while. But want to review ways that you can really get in trouble with public Wi-Fi's, the ways that people can get your information, they can take over devices, they can do all kinds of crazy things through the use of public Wi-Fi's. And then I want to kind of go over some ways that you can really help avoid falling into that trap and losing a lot through the use of public Wi-Fi's. So the first way people can hurt you using public Wi-Fi's, well, one of many, is going to be maybe an evil twin is what a lot of people will call it. And that is basically where a hacker, an agent, somebody will go into an area that is common or likely to have a public Wi-Fi already. They'll hop in, they'll create a remote hotspot with a very similar name to the place that they are at. A good example is airport Wi-Fi or free airport Wi-Fi, Nashville airport Wi-Fi. Something that looks very legitimate that will trick people into connecting to that Wi-Fi versus the actual airport or actual coffee house Wi-Fi access. And what they'll do is they'll set it up to where you can connect to this hotspot, you can even reach the internet, you can access everything you would otherwise, but in the meantime they now have access to your machine or your device. They can watch your traffic, they can do packet sniffing, they can access anything on your device that you've now allowed them into, and it's completely unknown to you because you're busy surfing Facebook and accessing things that you would normally access anyways. You can also get in a lot of trouble if you access secure sites like banking information or your email. If you're entering in these kinds of websites through this evil twin hotspot, you're then giving them usernames and passwords and access to these things. So even if you go to a secure site, you go to that HTTPS site, you're still entering this information and they can steal that information. So you need to make sure that if you're at a place, you are double checking what the Wi-Fi is. If you're at a coffee house, you need to go up to the front register and say, hey, what is your Wi-Fi router name, or what is your Wi-Fi SSID, so you know what you're logging into. Next way an attacker can get your information or use public Wi-Fi is a man-in-the-middle attack, and that is to set up similar to an evil twin, is set up a legitimate website that people will go to and then enter in information to access the Wi-Fi. You've all had to go, if a hotel or airport Wi-Fi takes you to a login site to, hey, put in your email address so we can allow you access onto our network. Well, what people are doing is they're setting up those websites and grabbing your packet out of the air, sending you to that website and saying, hey, give us your information, then we'll send you the internet. And similarly, they'll send you the internet, but they're starting to pull information off of your machine, off of the information you're sending out, and they're using that information for nefarious reasons, basically. Packet sniffing is also a real big threat on public Wi-Fi's because none of the information you are sending out is going to be encrypted. So people can pull out packets out of the air, and if they're not encrypted on your machine, they're going out unencrypted. So you need to make sure that you're doing something to avoid that. Using HTTPS websites is a good way to avoid packet sniffing, or using a VPN. That kind of brings us into our next segment of the video, and that's going to be how to protect yourself in public Wi-Fi's. The first and easiest step is going to be abstinence. I mean, everyone's heard that saying before, but don't use public Wi-Fi's. If you don't use them, you can't get into trouble. Use only secure Wi-Fi's that you know are secure, encrypted, and people have a much harder time getting into those than they would a public Wi-Fi spot. Obviously, that's not always feasible. Sometimes you just have to have Wi-Fi. Some days you don't have cell service or data, or you need to access the internet. The next best thing is you're typically going to be use a VPN. There are a lot of private products out there. There are a lot of paid-for versions that are really, really good VPNs that will encrypt all the data leaving your machine. And then you don't have to worry about using fake Wi-Fi's because they can't see the information. They can't unencrypt it without the code or without the key. So you're much more safer that way. I recommend using a VPN for even secure Wi-Fi or secure internet access, just because it is another layer of protection for you. It also can mask your IP address. You can also use it as a bit of a firewall. There are a lot of powerful products out there that will help you stay a little more secure. I use Windscribe. I think I found it on the internet on a special, Black Friday or Cyber Monday sale. Got a lifetime pass, and it covers my phone, covers my laptop, my desktop, my wife's phone, and it's really good because you can spoof IP. So if you were in an area where they don't allow access to certain websites, you can spoof your IP and go there. But I always have it on in a public Wi-Fi because you never know what people are doing on those areas, and that's really helpful. Other ways to protect yourself is make sure you're always going to HTTPS sites. If you're not going to HTTPS sites, you don't know what information is encrypted and not encrypted. If you're buying anything or putting credit card information in, and it's a non-HTTP site, you're just asking for trouble. So even if you're on a secure network and you're shopping online, you need to make sure that HTTPS is there. You need to make sure that you're not giving too much information away. So if you're on your Wi-Fi and you're surfing Facebook, no big deal. There's not a whole lot of information people are going to gather there. But don't go to your bank websites. Don't go to log into your work network. Don't do anything that if you were to be compromised, that they would get a whole lot of information out of. So try and pull yourself back from doing all that. Try not to access emails, and if you do, access it through the host website, so Google or Gmail.com or Yahoo.com or HTTPS sites. Don't do any file sharing. Don't do any large attachments. Don't download anything, because the more you're doing, the more they're able to pull off of that. One thing people don't think about using public Wi-Fi's is shoulder surfing. You'd be blown away if you just walk around an airport and just see what people have on their screens while they're in a public place. It blows my mind what you see. And people can stand over and just watch what you type in, and they don't have to have any high-tech tools. They don't have to even access your machine. They just got your username and password. They see that you bank with Bank of America, boom, they're in, and you're done. Use two-factor authentication. So if someone does shoulder surf and they can get in, they're not going to get past the second step. And then know what websites you're going to. So you're making sure, spoofing a website and going to Gmail with 2 L's, and you're not going to anything like that. Just being aware of your surroundings and that kind of thing is really, really, really helpful. So I know I talked fast, I got through a lot, but that's what I wanted to talk about today. Since I'm in and out of airports, I thought it'd be a good way to kind of transition into that. Appreciate it. Hope everyone enjoyed the summer, and we'll see you in the fall.